everybody, it is me, and I decided to do a fairly quick impromptu video of the 12 things that I think you will need if you're having a newborn. It's a list that I wish that I had with my first one. By the time we had Joel, our second one, we were like, yes, we know what we need. And I so wish that I had someone telling me exactly what I need instead of following this huge, long baby registry list from like Babies R Us or Bye Bye Baby with literally like 100 things that you need. This is not including clothes, a crib, a changing table. I think those are pretty standard things that you will need. So maybe you can add those to your list still. You're gonna need a nursery. Your kid's gonna need clothes. So I think that's pretty obvious. I'm also not gonna mention, well, I guess I am mentioning it right now, a car seat, a stroller, okay? You're gonna need those things. I'm gonna mention the things that you should put on your baby registry and plan on getting them even if you don't get them at your baby shower, or if you're just picking up everything by yourself and not having a baby shower. These are the things that I think that you should pick up. Number one is a rock and play, and I'll put in a picture of a rock and play right here. We were given ours from a family that I worked for, and it's something that I would never think to put on my registry, but I'm so glad that we had it. We used it every day, all day, every night. Our kids ended up sleeping in it much better than they did in our co-sleeper. It's just so nice and cozy. Also, if you have a colicky baby or one with like acid reflux, it's better if they're inclined. So this actually helps them sleep at an incline without using something like a wedge in their crib, which I loved our wedge also. We used a wedge, but I didn't like it that our baby could actually roll on the wedge, where in a rock and play, they can't go anywhere. Also, if they start to wake up, it rocks itself. It's very easily off balance. So if they're moving at all, it rocks them, and it really comforts them. Number two was something that I wished that I had with Jacob. I didn't have it until later on, and I had it with Joel, and I used it all the time. But I wish I had it with Jacob as a newborn, and that is the Sleep to Dream. What is it called? It's like I'm putting up the picture right now. It's like a swaddle, but it's so that they can sleep like they want to sleep. They don't have to sleep like they're in a straitjacket. Both of my babies hated that. They ended up getting their little hands outside of their swaddle, and they wanted to sleep with their hands up. But also be confined. So the Sleep to Dream, it's so soft. It's so easy to use. I love that it has the double zipper so that you can change them in the middle of the night without taking them out of the whole thing. And yeah, we use this every sleep. And it's also great to have something like this that becomes a routine for your baby, so that they know when they're going into their swaddle or their Sleep to Dream swaddle or anything that you're doing, it helps them. They're really smart, even newborns, they're geniuses. They know, okay, I'm going into my swaddle now. That means that it's time to sleep. So you would be shocked at how quickly they pick up on things, and it'll be easy for you in the long run to have them know those things. And next is the nose Frida. We used this so much with Joel, not so much with Jacob. He wasn't congested as a baby, but Joel was right away. We found out later on that he actually has a small milk allergy. It just stuffs him up. It's not anything major. But he was so stuffed up, like right from day one, poor thing. And the nose Frida was amazing. It's not gross. You don't end up with boogers in your mouth. You just suck them up real fast, and you don't have to dig anything in there. You don't have to put it in deep. We had one of those sucker things, and it was so long, and I really felt like I was jabbing it up their nose, or I was scared I was gonna jab it up his nose. And I know those things, people love them. If you're not comfortable with the nose Frida because you don't want to suck anything, try one of those. I personally hated it, and I love the nose Frida because you can't jam it up there. It's too big. It just stays right there, and it was great. Next is coconut oil, and that sounds like so silly to put that on your number one, actually number four, but we use this all the time. I used it for everything, and it worked for everything. I used it on myself, nursing. I used it on my nipples, and it was great. If your kid has cradle cap, coconut oil will just bring it. It'll loosen all right up, and you can just with a comb out that cradle cap. We used it for everything. Any like little like rash on them, coconut oil, any dry spots. Next is clothing with built-in mittens. Newborns, they can scratch themselves so easily, and it's funny because their nails are actually really flimsy and soft, but their skin is even softer. So even like you cannot cut their nails short enough to have them not scratch themselves. So we tried the mittens, and I think that they're great for like week 1, but after that they can get them off. And with the built-in mittens, they can't, and it's great that they're, you know, you can take them out if you want, or you can put them back in, and it's just great to have it all in one, that even if they get their little hands out of it, you're not like running around looking for the mittens everywhere, which we were with Jacob. Next is the Muslim swaddle blankets. We use these all the time. They're so soft too and easy to use. They're not like crazy stretchy, but they have some give to them. So if you're swaddling, it's not like those stupid stiff swaddle blankets that are dumb. They're not dumb. And they're huge, so you can use them for anything. Like we use them for birth cloths. As your stroller and your baby fell asleep, it's so easy to put it over it, and just to give them, like, make them feel like they're in their little cave, little cozy cave. So yeah, the Muslim swaddle blankets are so nice. Next is finding the right Binky, which sounds so silly, but what are those things called? They're like the, I want to say Nuke, N-U-K. They're like those, I'm going to put up a picture, so don't even worry about it. I'm talking to myself. They're the rubber ones, the silicone ones, and a lot of babies seem to love this. So try those. My kids hated them. They just popped right out of their mouth, no problem. They just couldn't keep them in, and but they really loved Binkies. I found the Binky that my kid loved, and even though it's like 6 to 18 month size, my newborns took them like crazy. They loved them. So I will put up a picture of what it is. Of course, I don't have one on hand. Next, a diaper caddy. Now, if you have a big house or a little house, you have your nursery, and then you have out in your living area, which you're going to be staying in your living area for the most of the time. And it's so nice to just have a little diaper caddy, so you're not going into the nursery every time that you have to change your kid's diaper. So all you need is diapers, wipes. That might be all that you need. Maybe you have like a burp cloth in there, but of course we used wipies for everything. You don't even have to spend a lot of money. Literally, you just need a tiny basket with a handle, and it will save your life, I promise you. And what we also did is I used those Muslim swaddle blankets for, just put it down on the couch, change your baby's diaper on it, and you're good to go. Multi-use stretchy nursing cover. Even if you're not planning on nursing, or you are planning and it's not working out right, those things are amazing. You can use them over your stroller. You can use them over your, later on, we use ours countless times over our shopping carts, just so the baby's hands aren't touching the cart. Of course, I used it also for nursing. It was so easy. Instead of the apron-shaped nursing cover, which once you're done, you're like, get this thing off of me. But with the stretchy cover, you're literally just pull it over you, and it hangs around your neck, and it's super soft, and you're like, I'm totally fine with this. It's around my neck. It's cute. It looks like a scarf, as opposed to having an apron hang off you. Next is a boppy pillow, or a breastfeeding pillow if you're breastfeeding. I really loved our boppy pillow because I could use it for nursing, and then I can also use it just to prop up my baby on the ground and know that they're not going anywhere. It's kind of like a neck pillow. Next is a ring sling. Now, And I found it so much easier to use than a full, what are those things called? The ones that just wrap around you. I almost made a huge mess. Those things, they look so much fun and they look so cute, but they are not fast to use. Where a ring sling, you literally put it over you, you put the baby inside, you tighten it up, and they are like glued to you, and it just feels so comfy. We love our Ergo, but if I had to pick out of the two, I'd pick the ring sling. Next is a backpack diaper bag. Whew, I wish that I had a diaper bag that was a backpack for my first kid. Once I got pregnant with Joel, I was like, that's it. I'm not carrying around this stupid diaper bag, because I would have his car seat and my diaper bag, and like I'd be like waddling to the car, and it was just a mess. And then especially like you set them down on the ground, and then you do something with this arm and your whole diaper bag ends up flying off and smacking your infant in the head. You know, it's just like, get a backpack. It's out of your way. You have freedom to do whatever you want, and get a backpack. What was my last thing? I had my little list, but I had one in my head that I had just thought of, and now I'm not thinking of it anymore. Yeah, that might be it. Oh, okay. Number 13. I was going to do 12. Now I'm doing 13. If you're planning on nursing, that is amazing. Good for you. Go for it with your whole heart. But I highly recommend, especially if this is your first baby, get some bottles and get some formula. You really never know what your baby's going to be like. They are their own little crazy personalities from the get-go. And with Jacob, for one, I couldn't nurse him the first week. I had terrible problems, and that's a whole story. But it gave me like anxiety, especially after postpartum, like hormones and everything. I thought I was starving my baby, and I was just like in tears and crying. And then my husband was like, here, look, I have formula, and look, we have these bottles. And I was like, yes, yes, feed the baby. And he just guzzled it down. Poor thing was hungry. And it was just a relief to have that on hand, even though I wanted to nurse, and I did nurse him. So yeah, I highly recommend having something like that on hand, and ask anybody, they will say the same thing. Even if you plan on nursing, and I say go for nursing. It didn't work out too well with my first one, but I nursed Joel for a full year exclusively, and it was amazing. So yeah, those are my 12, kind of 13 things that I think that you should have if you're having a newborn. And I hope this was super helpful for somebody. I know that I wish that I had this list when I was pregnant with Jacob. So I hope you guys have a super blessed day, and I will see you next time.